All right, y'all. Hope y'all having a good evening on this beautiful night out here in Arizona. I'm telling you. Ain't that right, Chris? It's good. No, but for real. So this is a true story. We want to keep it as, transparent as possible, especially on this crazy real and real world of social media. So I was looking forward to going to, one of my favorite spots. And I'll even say more. So the people that know, I used to manage one of these in college in Sacramento. That's as much as I'm going to say. And anyway, I'm a big fan of what they do out here. And so I was going to go there not only to look forward to the meal, but also to create content. I thought it had made some good content. So we pull up, and I could tell right off the rip that one of the employees, he's brand new. I don't know if it's a week, I don't know if it's a day. To be quite honest, it looked like they just pulled him off the streets and he was starting like 10 minutes from now. But with that said, I ordered 2 things, and and 3-4 other people came after me, and the manager helped them, and they all left, and I'm still waiting on my 2 items, and it's 20 minutes later, and then when I finally do get them, and again, I'm not trying to sound like I'm complaining about this, I understand, but when I finally got the products, they were terrible. Like, it was the worst. I've been there 10 out of 10 times, and it's always out of the park. This is the one time it was the worst situation I've ever seen in my life. I mean, the meat wasn't even consistent. It was cold on one end. The bread was cut in different ways. It didn't even take a good picture. And it's not about the picture, but again, so I guess what I'm trying to say is I sat there and I'm like, I can't create content on this. And I definitely want to keep it real, but I don't want to. Keeping it real is saying 10 out of 11 times you got amazing food and great service. Are you going to change all that because you're emotional or you're in a bad mood that one day? But I didn't want to eat the food, not for $45. It's expensive for what it was. $45 for 2 sandwiches. So I decided to do something I've never done. I did a Karen and, spoke with the manager, but I did it respectfully. I explained my situation. She actually knew us. I'd gone in there many times before. So she gave us an offer of either remake them or just, give a refund. And I was like, you know what? With everything the way it is, I'll just take a refund. So literally threw the sandwiches out, the drinks out, didn't touch them after that, got the refund. And I explained that I was going to do some food content, but I don't think it's fair for me to post off of this experience. That's just me. At the end of the day, it's up to each, I guess each influencer, whatever you want to call it, or critic or whatever else. But so I went elsewhere, and you'll see our post. We went to Aloha Kitchen, which, turned out great. So I'm glad we did that for, stretching our dollar and our value. But I wanted to share this with people because, again, I could have easily bashed them, talked trash, said some witty stuff, said some outlandish stuff that wouldn't even be true, and probably got more views and had the videos passed around and gone viral. Like I see, I'm not even going to say, but somebody else out there do and, is blowing up off of that stuff. But honestly, man, that kind of energy, if you're gonna, I guess, benefit off of the downfall of others, especially mom and pops, I don't know. I'm not with that, man. That's not my kind of energy. I'll talk trash about that dude. Big old crumb cake eating, halafas swallowing, mashed potato face, looking Oompa Loompa. But anyway, so I just wanted to keep it real, though, about this experience. I'll give them another shot later, because 10 out of 11 is actually pretty darn good. But I did also state that I've been in their shoes before. I was the new guy working, and I sucked, for a few days until I got better at my craft. And hopefully that's the same thing with this kid. So I did have some understanding. Now, another person paying $45 doesn't need to have understanding, and they need to learn that as well, too. But it's not always one-time experience makes or breaks it. And there's a responsibility when you're talking about people's livelihoods. So just keep that in mind, y'all. Sorry for the public service announcement, but I want to keep it 1,000. Hope y'all have a good night. Foodie gang in the building, y'all.